what is it in computer science? What does it look like in code? It's not that complicated in terms of code. It's just a little weird when you start to think about it. In computer science, recursion refers to a function that calls itself. What? Here's an example. So I have a function called countdown. It starts out with a number that I give it. Let's say I give that function the number 10. So it starts out with the number 10. It prints that number. And then it says, if that number is greater than 0, what does it do? It calls itself. It calls countdown with 10 minus 1. So then it goes back. From here, it goes back up, and it gives that parameter as 9 now, or an argument as 9. Prints it, still greater than 0, then it calls itself again. So we've got a dream inside a dream inside a dream, or a function inside a function inside a function. Is there an easier way to count down from 10 to 0? Yes. But let's play with this anyway for a second. Let's see how this works. Let's get a Scratch file open here. There we go. Okay, so here's my function. I have to call that function to start it. So I'll give it the number 10 to start. So this is all my function definition. And you'll notice that this recursive call is inside the function definition. So when I call this function the first time, that starts the whole process. So when I run that, it counts down from 10 to 0. Interesting. Bless you. So what it does is it counts down from 10 to 0. Now, remember when I talked about the movie Inception? When they finished what they were doing, they had to wake up in the innermost dream, and then wake up, and then wake up, and wake up. That's actually happening here also. Here's an interesting thing. If we print waking up int counter, pay attention to what it's going to do here, because notice that this is after the recursive call. So it goes all the way through to here, and only when the counter equals 0 does it get to here. So watch what this does. So it counts 10 all the way down to 0, and then it does the waking up for 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way back up to 10. So it does the waking up part only after it gets all the way to what's called the end case. The end case is defined right here, and it says basically when int counter equals 0, or when it's no longer greater than 0, then we're done. And then at that point, everything after this line happens on the backside of that. And so that's very interesting, because a function really has two parts: what happens before the end case and what happens after the end case. So functions are really interesting, and functions are really great, or recursive functions are really great for doing a very few things. Almost everything you can do with recursion, you can do another way, right? Like this countdown code. The easier way to do that would be to say for x in range 10 comma 0 comma -1 and then just print it, right? Because that's just going to give me 10 to 0 and it'll print it out. Simple. I don't need to use recursion and be all weird and fancy about it, but I can. So in some ways, recursion and recursive code is a bit of a nerd flex, right? It's something you can do. If you're smart enough to figure it out, you can do it that way.